Hey, Bayek, it's me, Ian. And in today's video, well, I'm continuing my look at classic albums. Oh, well, classic albums in my CD collection. They may not be everybody's idea of a classic, but I love them. And, well, let's get on with it. This is Echo and the Bunnymen, Crocodiles, from 1980. It's their debut album, and I absolutely adore this album. I've played it over and over again. I just love it. I really do. Now, the next album that comes out is Evan Up Here from 1981 as a follow-up album. This album runs for 37 minutes and 3 seconds, and it just absolutely sails by. It really does when you play it. And let's get into a bit more about Echo and Bunnymen themselves. Echo and Bunnymen were formed in 1978. The original lineup was Ian McCulloch, Will Sargent, and Les Patterson. And when they signed to Corva, the record label, they said that you should get a drummer. So they got Pete DeFreitas as the drummer. So I said this is their debut album. It was recorded in 3 weeks. And before that, they'd been on tour doing, I suppose they were really getting their songs really sorted out, really brilliantly put together. And there they are. So they go on tour and then go into the studio. Now, so it was recorded in 1980 and released on the 18th of July, 1980. Recording studios were Eden, London, and then Rockfield in Wales. Rockfield is quite a famous one. There's a hell of a lot of famous albums that were recorded at Rockfield and artists. Just look up Rockfield and you'll be absolutely surprised. It's a very famous studio. Now, the label is Corva, which is, I think, a branch of WEA. Now, let's have a look at the producers. There's 3 producers. We've got, firstly, Bill Drummond, who is an interesting character. He, for instance, was involved in the KLF, doctoring the TARDIS, the Doctor Who single that was put out. Interesting, isn't it? And that's really, he is well known. It's the KLF with his partner, Jim Corty. Them together worked really well together. They were an electronic duo, really, with KLF. Then we've got David Bolf, who David Bolf was the Teardrop Explodes keyboardist. Don't forget that at a similar time these bands are to get, doing their music. They're new bands, yes. Teardrop Explodes. And then we've got the third producer is Ian Brody. He, I think, is well known with the Lightning Seeds. Yes, the Lightning Seeds. And of course, a certain song. Yes, he's associated with the football song. Football's Coming Home with Frank Skinner and what have you. Yes. But the Lightning season, and of course, he's gone on. He's an amazing producer. He has produced such a lot of great bands and music. So we have three producers, and the cover photo is by Brian Griffin, and what an atmospheric photo this is. It's a great album cover. It's absolutely astonishing. I love it. Well, you can see it as well. It stands out. The lighting, everything about it's just fantastic. Absolutely love this cover. Now, let's get into the band members. So, we have got Ian McCulloch, who plays the guitar and piano on this album, and as well, of course, the very important distinctive vocals. Those vocals are absolutely outstanding. Then we've got Will Sargent, who is the lead guitarist, and that guitar, wow, it just, woo, it's there, isn't it? You can't miss that guitar. It really lashes in there. Wonderful. And then the bass as well. We've got Les Patterson on bass. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Then we've got Pete DeFreitas on the drums. The drums are interesting. They never feel intrusive, the drums. There's kind of a minimal feel to them, but you know they're there in the beat. Very much so. Some great drumming. But that's an interesting. They never feel like they're overwhelming, the sound. So, let's get into the tracks. Now, all the songs are written by Sargent, McCulloch, Patterson, and DeFreitas. Apart from one, which I'll point out when we go through the list. So, the album opens with Going Up. Wow, yeah, what an opening. You get it right into that album. Makes a statement straight away about what you're going to get on this album. And then we go Stars Are Stars. I mean, I can just, they're fantastic tracks. Pride, it's like an anthem, but it's wonderful. And then we got Monkeys. Oh, wow. And Crocodiles. Yep, the title track, Crocodiles. And then the famous Rescue just comes out. And Villiers Terrace, you know it. I'll tell you, if you've been a student and just that youthful, what's going on, Villiers Terrace covers that perfectly. It really does. And then Pictures on My Wall, which is written by Sargent, McCulloch, and Patterson. It's just got the three writers on that. And Pictures on My Wall is, well, another one. Very much, I think, kind of a drug-induced song, that one. Definitely. It's got all the trappings, as you see in the lyrics. So, singles. Now, Pictures on My Wall was released on the 5th of May 1979 on a previous, I thought, smaller label before they got signed to the big one. But that was included on here. And then Rescue. Wow, Rescue. That is the single. There were no more singles. Those were the two singles from the album. Fantastic. Absolutely wonderful. They just stand out so much. I mean, the whole album, it's an interesting album because it's got the youthful feel about it, but yet it's got sort of almost a bit of darkness, a bit of foreboding, exploring sort of territories which you get in the music. About isolation even though they're kind of into the party. There's a mixture, so much of youthful mixed up feelings in many ways. And a lot of these songs express that. Even though I still think there's a hope in it as well, because you're kind of exploring and you don't know what you're going to find. And I think that works well. And the music kind of backs all that up. It's just a massive favourite of mine. I don't know what, I just play this album and play it. As soon as I heard it, I thought, wow, these have got a great sound, that post-punk sound, but it's got it weaves its own magic beautifully, absolutely beautifully weaves the magic, and you can't help but love it. And kind of when I play it, I do think back to my youth a lot. It's got that effect. I mean, it's an exciting period of music, all this sort of period, the post-punk, punk, post-punk, all the influences that are happening at this time are amazing. And we're getting some great bands. And Echo and the Bunnymen, we definitely put in that bracket as a great band. McCulloch is so determined in how he writes with the rest of the band, but his voice on the vocals is just amazing. I mean, they all come together beautifully writing all these songs, but you feel McCulloch is in many ways the driving force behind all this. But so it's I think Patterson is he's very much involved in this, and Sargent. I mean, the guitar is amazing. How it just you know it's Echo and the Bunnymen. That guitar, you play it as Echo and the Bunnymen. You just know he's that. It's just there. It's a wonderful. I don't. What's he on about? I don't know. I'm just trying to say the passion. It brings all sorts of feelings inside of me. But yes, there is a downside. But for me, it's not. It's a youthful look back for me, and I never get tired of it. I still feel exhilarated. I want to be in there listening to it. And even though I say it does have its, dark side, but I love it. I just absolutely love this album. I mean, what a debut album. It's always, it's interesting, a lot of debut albums, they may not always be considered their greatest work, but for me, they often are amongst their great work, because there's something special there when they're all beginning this journey. This musical journey, they're putting together the best of them at that time of what they want to express, and it comes across in so many debut albums. I always think of Talking Heads' debut album. Wow, this is like that. It's got that wonderful feel to it, exciting, and it's what makes me love music so much. So, if you've not heard of Echo and the Bunnymen, listen to this album. It makes you think, wow, yeah, fantastic. They knew what they were doing. What a journey was beginning. Anyhow, that's it. So before I go, I'll show you my CD copy. Of course, a brilliant CD. This is a treasured CD that I've had such a long time as well. Because there's no bonus tracks on here. It's all the original. Yeah, the original release CD, and there we are. There's the disc. Lovely disc. Beautiful. Well presented. Treasured. This is treasured, as all my CDs are. And this album, I can't talk about it enough. That's why I wanted to do this. It just expresses my love of this album. And that's it. So, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and let me know. Well, we'll let you know when I produce videos. So, I produce all sorts, a lot of mainly movie and TV show reviews, as well as some music like this. And if you've got any comments, please put your comments down and give it a like as well, because it gets it out into YouTube and algorithms, and hopefully other people might enjoy this. They probably won't agree with what I say, but I like that. I think it's good that people have that, and I'm just really just doing this as a love letter to this album. You know, that's what it is for me. I absolutely love it. And there we are. That's it. So all I've got to say is, I'll see thee again.